Welcome to the Bullits and Bourbon podcast, where it's not about the bourbon, but more about who you share it with.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bullits and Bourbon. This is episode number 50. We're finally there. We didn't know we'd hit it this quick, but
should we call this 50 was right on Diddy?
50 was right on Diddy. Our midweek episode. So many of you that like and follow us know that we go a little bit heavier on whiskey on our midweek episode. So we're not gonna crack that theme up at all. And we got to dive into a couple of new ones that we haven't had yet. So we started off with these are I don't want to call these budget pours, but
You call it what it is. It's a budget pour.
Well, it was a budget pour because every single one of these bottles that we'll talk about briefly, and then the one that we're going to try, which is a Cleveland, they were like $23 a bottle because they were on clearance racks, which is, I mean, I'm a sucker for clearance bourbon.
And that's the only way Diddy had to have all that baby oil.
It was on clearance racks?
On clearance racks.
So if you'll pass me those two bottles, Craig, the first two that we tried, we're not going to review these or try them on the podcast. But the first one that we had was Rudder's Mill, and it's a Kentucky straight bourbon. No age statement on it, and I think this was sitting in the clearance bin, and I was kind of pleasantly surprised to find out that Ohio does this a little differently than Pennsylvania does, where they if it doesn't sell, they kind of dump it into a bin, and they're like, yeah, get rid of it at cheap.
Yeah, I think when Ohio is sitting on too much product for too long, though, they will, a lot of their stores, OHLQ will tell them, hey, clearance it out, though, and the stores still maintain their profit, but Ohio allows them to sell it for cheaper and move it.
So, I mean, what's cool about it is that if it's not a popular bottle, it'll find its way to that bin. So they had Breckenridge rum cask on the clearance bin, which is just unfathomable to me that you would put Breckenridge in there. It's too good of a whiskey. But hey, their loss, my gain, or our gain, because this retails for Rudder's Mill retails for about $65, and it's good. 92.2 proof. We all had a sip of it.
Yeah.
What were your guys' thoughts on it? I mean, for being a lower proof, what'd you think?
It was good. Had some cherry notes to it. The flavor was good. Was definitely an everyday sipper for me.
Craig?
I was the same way. I mean, I didn't pick up the cherry necessarily. I don't remember. I just, I think every time we review something, generally we say it's good. Because generally, the ones that are bad, we don't
review. We try not to talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, respect for those people out there that we try to talk about those. So generally, if we're reviewing something, but yes, for a 90... On the nose, I could tell instantly. I was like, oh, it smells like a lower proof. It smells pretty smooth, simple, and yeah, it's a good bottle. I think a lot of people, when you go into the state store, $60 is a lot to spend for an unknown, though, sometimes.
For a try.
Yeah, just to take something home and be like, oh, it tastes...
Sucks.
Yeah, it tastes like Satan's asshole. But this one, it was a smooth sipper. It was absolutely thought it was a good pour for.
Well, I mean, $20, $20 is $20. So, I mean, $20, I had no problem throwing it. They had a bunch more, and I probably should have picked up some more, but I wanted to find something that was not an MGP product. That was important. So I went with these three that you see, and then the Breckenridge, which, I'm going to kill that bottle without a doubt.
I don't know. I think your wife's going to beat you to it because she was excited when she heard about it.
She loves Breckenridge, and rightfully so. So initially sweet. There wasn't anything that was like super like pop about the bottle that made me go, oh wow, this is superb bourbon. But for what it is, it's a straight small batch bourbon. It was sweet. It was on the sweeter side for me. Caramel notes to it. The hug was medium. There's nothing that makes me go, this should be anything more than a $60 bottle. But for certainly $20, you're an idiot if you pass it up. This is something you could probably drink all night, and you'd be happy with it.
Yeah,
it was pleasant,
Yeah, I agree with that. Though it was nothing you would chase down particularly, though. But for a we keep on saying $20. You're probably not going to find it for $20. This was a clearance in Ohio. But for the pour, it was a smooth bottle. Great for your friends or some people maybe introductory into whiskey. It was a smooth sipper though, so I highly recommend try it out. See what you think.
For an intro bottle, it's a good $60 bottle. And remember, for us, like what's a $60 bottle now was probably a $40 bottle 2 years ago.
True.
Fair. So I mean, I'm throwing that out there. Maybe I'm wrong.
What's an introductory price range you guys think for someone?
I don't know.
Whiskey?
I mean, that's tough because a lot of distilleries come out with a bottle and they overprice it from the beginning, thinking that what they have is the jelly jam of the lot. I mean, if I see $60, I'll probably give it a shot. But I mean, then again, that's what we do is we try whiskeys.
We do, but when somebody walks into a state store or walks into a lot of places, though, I mean, let's be honest here, when someone sees $30, do you ever think to try it for $30?
No, I mean honestly, no, because now you were kind of accustomed to buying everything at about $59 to $69.
Yeah.
So I think if it's under $49. You're kind of going to shy away a little bit. Like,
I agree. And what's crazy is we talk about a lot of these secondary bottles that go for $700-800. George T. Stagg. Some of these bottles are old Rip Van Winkle. A lot of these bottles go for under a Benjamin.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, we have gotten accustomed to a $200 bottle being
the norm for us.
The norm. That's bad. I mean, we look at that and we're like, oh, it's not bad. It's only $200. And then, we kill it on one episode.
Let's be clear. It's not because we have money.
No.
It's because we're degenerates. Let's be honest.
It has nothing to do with because
he has a really great mouth on him. And so we're able to compete. No, it's the nature of the game, I think, where people overlook bottles that are at that price. And I had never heard of Rutter's Mill. It's a Bardstown brand. Buzzard's Roost, Bardstown brand. I mean, I've heard of Buzzard's Roost before, but, most people are not willing to take a gamble on something unless they have had it before, maybe in a taste, or it's been hyped up.
Or when it sits on the shelf. When it sits on the shelf, you automatically think, or even when it sits high, when it's always sitting there, when it's human nature, when you have the ability to grab it at any time, you're like, I can get it any time, though. When you're told you can't get it, then you want what you can't get.
Well, I think too you got to look at people's palates of what they're used to, and people coming into whiskey in general, they don't know what they don't know, so they're going to stick to your Blantons, your Eagle Rares, your Russell Reserve, things that are more popular and more out there. And for them to dive in and try something new, it's like, well, I haven't heard about this.
It's a gamble.
Why am I going to try this? Everybody's raving about Blanton's, Eagle Rare. I want to be part of the in crowd. So, sometimes you just got to go out, take a gamble, try something new.
Yeah, I mean, listen, as far as getting somebody into bourbon, if I was going to introduce somebody into bourbon, I think this would be a good bottle because it's on the sweeter side. So I think it would attract somebody that has a sweeter palate at first, before you start proofing up and losing some of that sweetness and trading it for flavor. But it's tough because when you battle big name brands, look, I would say look at Green River, for example. When Green River first cracked the market, they priced their bottles at about $35. And there were people, I was down in Kentucky and I saw it on the shelf and I'm like, you know what, I'm grabbing these things because a guy walked by and said, hey, that is really, really, really good bourbon. Buy a couple bottles of each. And I looked at him for a minute. He's like, trust me. So I was like, all right, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to go on faith here. But he was right. It was excellent bourbon, but they were not a huge name at that time. And now, Green River, they've got the regular, they've got their wheat, they've got their foolproof, they've got their single barrel, they've got their rye, and they're making a name for putting out good quality, very enjoyable bourbon that's still at a decent price. But it takes a little while for names to catch on. I think that's where a lot of these brands suffer. Give it a shot. If you find Rutter's Mill, you find it for $60 or less, and you're looking for something new, give it a try. There's nothing wrong. It's a sweeter bourbon. It's lower proof. Good intro. I would recommend it. Now, the Buzzard's Roost, did you get a pour of this? You didn't have this yet.
No, I did not.
Did you have a pour?
No.
Okay.
You were kind of greedy with that one.
Well, I wasn't greedy. You were catching up. Are you going to want to try it?
I think you were kind of worried about you.
All right, I'll pour you a little sip. You want a sip?
Yeah, get me Glenn.
All right. I'll just do a little sip because I know you Nancy's are.
Surprised he got Glenn because he got John last night.
There you go. That's good. That's good.
All right. So
this is a lot better than Friday.
well, I was angry pouring Friday.
You know, Friday you were definitely angry pouring. This is, you know, when you're giving somebody a sample, this is what it should look like.
I don't think so. I disagree. So Buzzard Roost, this is char number 1 rye. Straight rye whiskey, checks in at 105 proof. This was another one that they had on the bin for $20. And I know that it costs a lot more than this normally, probably $60-$70, I'd guess. I enjoy it. You know, it's a Bardstown distilled, so it's, you know, it's legit. Give me your thoughts. Now, we just went from a bourbon to a rye, so I know there's going to be a little bit of a flavor variance on it, but I'm sipping on it right now, and I enjoy it.
I mean, I'm I've really been working on my palate here, and it still is complete crap. But I almost get like a tobacco-y or
tobacco, some cooking spices.
Yeah, tobacco, baby spices. Dark, earthy. It's very earthy and peppery. I get the finish on it is nice. The finish is a medium to long finish. I had it neat, then I put it over ice. The ice really brought out a lot more in it. You guys are trying it neat, so you're getting kind of the full.
Yeah, I get a little more hug, but I think with the medicine I'm taking too, I get a little more heartburn, so I can feel the burn a little bit more. But it's
are you gonna be all right, Nancy?
It's good to. It's gonna be one of those episodes again, isn't it? All right, well,
here we go. The back of the hand, you keep it up. Just drink your whiskey. So, I mean, would this be a rye? I mean, listen, we are spoiled in Pennsylvania. We have some of the best ryes around us. So I know it's hard to compare rye to that. But if just talk intro rye, for somebody that's maybe looking at trying to play with ryes for the first time, where do you guys think?
Nothing against Buzzard Roost. Personally, I don't think so. I think it's a more unique, Tabasco or a tobacco.
Yeah,
well, rewind. Tobacco finish, I think it's a little more, someone who's maybe tried a little bit more, though.
More into rye?
I wouldn't say as an introductory, though, personally.
Not as an introductory.
I think you have to walk into this rye a little more.
Because the more I sip on it, there's different flavors I'm being able to pull. There's like a cherry almost.
Yeah.
It's maybe like hotter.
Maybe like a blackberry, the tobacco, a little bit of leather, the baking spices.
You're nailing a lot of those notes. I'm surprised.
But for a rye, it's not heavy on the earth tones. I don't really get any of the earth tones on the rye. But yeah, I wouldn't walk somebody in this starting on.
I wouldn't either.
Maybe give it a little bit.
Started with something more basic.
Yeah.
Not as complex, yeah. I would agree. I mean, I find nothing
I think
wrong
it would
with
turn somebody away, I think, as an introductory rye, I think.
Unless they got a really good palate. And I mean, our palates are shit, but...
I think that's the exception, not the norm. I think 1 in 10 might be a fan as an introductory, but not the norm.
And at 105, it's you know, that's a nice proof. I mean... but for $20 is $20. I mean,
for $20,
$20.
You'll do a lot for $20.
Yeah, listen, I'll buy a lot with $20. I mean, those are steals for us, and we get a chance to talk about them and share them.
For $20, buy it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would almost say. So I don't know what this retails for. I did not look it up. I could, but let's just hypothetically say if this is an $80 bottle, I would pass on it.
Oh yeah.
If this is a $60 bottle, I would buy it. I would buy it again.
I would say that's a very fair.
So I'm going to look it up. What Buzzard Roost cost? What do you think?
I'm thinking 40 to 50. That's what I'm thinking, though. I think
let me see the bottle.
I'm taking a guess when OHLQ clearances them out, though. I think they cut them in half pretty much. So I think 40 to 50 is what my guess is. Go to the OHLQ website. See what Buzzard Roost is.
Well, they probably already marked it down. So
they may have.
So that's char number 1 rye. They've got a lot, man. I tell you what, I'm really kind of. I really now I might order some more of them. I love to see barrel proof.
So I got a question. Is this MGP?
No.
When it says it's distilled in Indiana, bottled.
Well, if it's distilled in Indiana,
it could be. So, roosting location. Now, that actually talks about where buzzards roost. That was unhelpful.
Which
which one are we drinking here? Buzzard Roost Char 1 Rye?
Yep.
So OHQLQ 34.99 was
There you go.
57.81. So it was about a $60 bottle
for
of tax
assessment.
in Ohio.
So that's a good deal.
I mean, and another thing you got to look at the color on this.
Yeah, it's got really decent color.
Really
to it.
dark
I mean,
amber. It's
Yeah, if only color had a taste, huh? It'd be great.
You're an idiot.
Vanilla?
It's vanilla.
Oh, it looks
Chocolate?
great. It tastes like Satan's asshole, but it looks pretty.
So they do source from MGP some, and then others are not. They've got a confusing. So I don't know exactly if this one is a source product or not, or if that's one of their own, or if they sourced half of it. I don't know. I mean, I won't take away from the fact that it's pretty good for a rye.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take it. So, if you can find it for $50, do it. If you put those over to the side for me, por favor. Now, the next whiskey that we're going to taste is the Cleveland whiskey, and this is interesting to me.
the thing that's interesting about this one for me, is this Cleveland whiskey. It reminds me of Philly. I almost want to say fuck Cleveland. Yeah,
Well, they get beat up on too bad as it is. So.
I mean, you feel bad for them now with the Browns, the Indians. So we'll leave Cleveland alone.
Well, we're going to give them a pass. So I want this bottle is very interesting to me. I picked it up and I looked on the back and it says aged for at least 1 minute. And I'm like, what the fuck? 1 minute?
Sounds like you got that 1 minute game going.
That bottle lasted longer than you.
Hey, listen, when you're good and fast, you're good and fast, all right? $20. We've already talked about that. So what they've done, Cleveland, if you go on their website, is they use an aging process. So they're all about science and everything. And I don't know where I stand with this, and I have not tried this yet. Did you try it yet?
Mm-mm.
You haven't tried it yet. Okay, so I don't. Let's sip it. I want your thoughts on it before we talk about the process of it and whether or not it's a bust, if it's a go or a no.
The nose on it originally is really good.
It is. I will say the nose.
I can't pick out the.
There's a ton of fruit. There's a ton of fruit.
Yes, there's a ton of fruit, but the nose on it is very enjoyable right off the bat.
I get apricot. I get apple. Apricot and apples, which is weird. I don't ever really pick up apples. Like baked apples. The kind you used to get from when you go to McDonald's with the apple pie.
Never had them.
You're a damn lie. You have never had McDonald's apple pie.
Yes, that's a fact. Never had it.
What the fuck? Him and dragons and not having apple pie lately. How
Really,
have you
we're gonna bring up old shit on
How
episode
have you
50.
not had McDonald's apple pie, dude?
Because it's McDonald's. Why would I have a pie from McDonald's?
Oh, it's McDonald's.
It's like,
It's like if Taco
It's
Bell
like
came out with
warm
hamburgers,
apple
would
pie.
you have hamburgers?
Listen,
No.
I bet you had a caramel empanada from
Here's one
from
for you.
Taco Bell.
When Burger King came out with hot dogs, did you have the hot dogs from Burger King?
Yes.
You're an idiot.
You want to know why?
Because you like putting meat in your mouth. Especially those weirdly shaped meats.
Because when you're a king, you're a king. You've never. What about caramel empanadas from Taco Bell?
Nope.
Nope, never had that either.
Get the. Are you kidding me?
Dude, I'm sorry.
You've never had a caramel empanada.
Look at his body.
sorry.
He definitely did not.
He has.
You have for sure.
You're like the Cookie Monster of caramel empanadas. All right, I digress. All right, so what else you get? What do you get on the nose, Craig? Damn, I want a caramel empanada bad.
Oh God.
God, dude, I'm trying to get there. I don't know. I whiskey.
You're an
No,
idiot.
it doesn't have that whiskey, alcohol, ethanol.
It has the whiskey. I mean,
All right, we'll sip it.
It's
because
not,
I'm tired of looking at you hover your nose over it and be inconclusive. It's embarrassing.
I'm just not the biggest fan.
Okay.
It's
Mine's over ice.
on the palate, on the finish. It's
It's not bad.
it's not my cup of tea. It's I'm not sure how to describe it. Besides, not my
Not
cup
your
of
cup
tea.
of tea.
For me, this has been sitting on ice for a little bit. It's not bad over ice.
All right, let me try
Pass
it.
that down.
Let me get a sip of it.
So yeah, because yours is very watered
you can,
down. Now.
yeah, it's watered
you
down
already
now. Yeah, the nose on it is definitely stronger on this than it was over ice.
Are you taking a sip or are you thirsty?
Yeah, I tried over ice.
That's interesting.
Definitely tried over at ice.
All right, so now I'm gonna.
Yeah, because neat, not my cup of tea.
No,
on the rocks.
It's just that opens up the flavors a lot, though. I mean, yeah, when you start to water down things, it can.
So
when you dilute it like that, though,
there's something.
It's just not for me particularly.
There's something wrong with it.
And like I said, I can't describe. I'm like, I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea.
It's very medicinal for me.
It's not medicinal. It's just on my palate. It's just like this flavor that I'm just like, I can't get it off my tongue. I can't get it off my palate. I'm just like, I don't particularly dig it though. What's the finish that I'm left with? The initial on my palate though.
Yeah.
So I get. I get notes of chocolate, and I get some caramel, some vanilla, but there's something that is not. It's just not there. I don't know how to explain it.
It falls a little flat.
The nose was great. The nose was excellent. The palate is just kind of
you know what
bland.
I'm
and
from Ohio.
There's no mouthfeel. There's like no viscosity to this.
So yes, I'll agree with. Remember the one bottle that we reviewed that you and your brother said it kind of fell flat.
Yeah,
from Florida. That's what this one kind of reminds me. Where you sip it and there's no viscosity, there's no hug. But then again, mine's a little watered down now.
It can fall flat for me, but it's. I really hate to say this though, but it's like eating those Tums, the chalky Tums, where you just have this. I can't get it off my tongue. It's just stuck to my tongue, that chalkiness, or I feel like I have cotton mouth.
I will say this.
Now you're playing head games with me because now even on the rocks I can feel it on my tongue. It really
feels like I'm just like my mouth is dry. Like I'm like I need to drink some.
So this is an interesting process, and I don't want to screw this up, but essentially what they do, they use a pressure controlled chamber. They take they age the whiskey for 6 months essentially, and they take it out, put it in a big old vat, and then they like put wood in there, and they pressurize. Yeah, thanks. I was trying to choke this back, but this is really giving me heartburn, which is odd. I don't get that a lot.
Based off your wood, Dan, we'd call you Splinter.
Yeah. So it's a science. It's a science experiment, and I don't know if it's a good science experiment. I don't want to. I'm sure that there are people that like this. This is
they're probably from Cleveland.
Yeah, this is their Black Reserve, so this is a one-off bottle. But to me, it doesn't hit very well. It doesn't hold. The nose is that's what's confusing. The nose is great.
The nose is really good,
and then it just kind of goes down from there.
I still feel like it's still in my tongue. Like it's almost like I got stung on my tongue, and my tongue is numb right now. It's tingling. I can't describe what this has did to my tongue.
I completely get it,
which is odd because it's got good legs. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to shelve this bourbon, and in 6 weeks we're going to come 6 to 8 weeks. We'll come back and we'll try this again.
I agree with
but
that.
you know what isn't a science experiment?
Here we go.
Chicken cock. You can never go wrong with chicken cock whiskey.
Nope, it'll hold your mouth just fine. Put a little cock in your mouth and you won't forget it.
Thought we were going to stop with the dick jokes.
But I'm not. I'm talking about chicken cock whiskey and how much you love to put it in your mouth, Daniel.
Still not sponsored. Chicken cock.
Jesus.
They keep it up. They probably still won't. After the Dragons thing?
Yeah, I wouldn't sponsor your ass.
There'll probably be 4 followers tonight after.
Have you bought another bottle or two of that?
I got 4 bottles that are supposed to be coming, plus the bottle we all ordered. It still hasn't came yet.
Did you call and ask why?
We're going to save that for offlining. We're going to call you chicken cock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. So, man, you look at you. You're just getting into it. You can't help yourself, can you? You don't know what to say right now.
I'm trying to keep it PG.
Oh.
Cleveland, I will say, my home state, Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, great state.
OH. God's country.
Oh boy. Go OH.
Who you picking? Who are you picking this year? NCAA
For college football?
NCAA.
Not Florida.
Who you going with?
And not Ohio State. I don't know. Georgia, probably. As much as it pains me to say it on, the words come out of my mouth, it hurts, but
I don't think anybody at this point. Definitely, I'm an Ohio State fan though, but Ohio State's played nobody, so I can't go with Ohio State though.
Ohio
Texas
State
ranked
never
#1.
plays anybody. They play 3 teams all season.
Yep.
How do you figure the Big Ten though? Too, they played Michigan though. They played.
They play usually Michigan, USC, and Penn State. And that's it.
But don't forget about Northwestern.
They don't
Minnesota.
usually because USC just got into the Big Ten though.
But they played USC.
Who do you even root for, Dan? Who do you root for? Exactly.
Michigan.
So, oh,
You
Jesus.
root for
you know
Michigan?
What?
Yes.
When did you start rooting for Michigan?
Prior to Tom Brady.
Oh my God! Here we go.
Well,
So here's the deal.
A friendship just ended tonight on this conversation.
The Big Ten finally added some competitive schools, but I love how you guys always
Finally? How do you how do you figure?
Because every year I got to hear this dumb bullshit come out of Big Ten fans' mouth about how we got the toughest conference. We have Northwestern, we have Minnesota, we have Indiana.
We all know it's SEC.
You don't hear that.
I won't even
Yes, I
argue
do.
with you. I won't even argue with you. SEC as the toughest division.
Without a doubt.
Hands down.
You don't agree? Just say it out loud.
I think SC. You're going to talk over top. You're going to try to talk over top, and you can't keep it. You're like a damn dog that just cannot shut up. You want to cross that electric fence right now, though. SEC, Big Ten, 2 biggest conferences, right? Have been, are now, though. It's not even the Big Ten anymore. It's the Big 28. SEC is huge now, too, I think. I think those are the 2 most dominant conferences right now, though.
He can't do it. He can't just say
SEC.
SEC is
Because they're not.
Dude, every time you play an
serious?
SEC school, you get a ass fucking.
No.
Yes.
We have won a national championship off of who? Alabama. Well, we got our asses kicked to Florida. I will give you that one.
Yes,
I
yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Even though they shouldn't have been there, they should not have been there.
Well, that just reinforces. So
Florida
a school,
should not have been there.
So when Florida shouldn't have been there, they went there and they turned you out, put you on the street, and you're still making money for us.
Jay, you're sounding like a Dallas Cowboy fan. Pull out the VHS.
That is true. It's been a hot
It's been a while. You got to let it go.
So
just like Dallas Cowboy
but I
fans.
love this. Michigan finally wins the Big Ten national championship, and all of a sudden he's like, well, "We just won a national championship." So you're a Michigan fan?
I'll always root for the Big Ten. You don't root for your own conference, though? Seriously?
Hell no, I don't. Root
What?
Listen,
So who won the last national championship?
Michigan,
Which conference is that?
the Big Ten.
So sit down and shut up.
So the previous 5, who won?
Who
Who
are the winningest teams in college football? Michigan, Ohio State, 2 of the top 3.
You've been playing football about 50 years longer, and Alabama.
Ohio State has not.
Alabama.
Michigan has been.
Who has the most national championships?
Oh shit! I don't know.
It's called Bama.
That's my point exactly. The fact that's not even your
We're
team,
better.
and if you have to go back that far in history,
you're banging on a team that's not yours with Michigan. You're over here hyping up, and I would never
because it worked for my conversation just now.
So it worked for your conversation.
Ambassador Old Fade,
I'm just saying.
Senator Craig.
See, isn't this what it's like being a Browns fan too?
That was a low blow.
No, I mean, no. Being a Browns fan, you just feel bad.
Oh.
You feel bad.
I don't.
Ohio has never won
anything of importance.
World Series.
Well, yeah, but that was when they were.
back in the
But that was when they were the
Reds,
Indians, and now they're all gentrified.
Football, they've never won a Super Bowl.
No.
No. Well, I mean, look at the Bengals. Look what they did last night.
So, how would you like to put up a bottle on this year? What would be the bet, though? As
Big
a giveaway.
Ten versus
As a giveaway.
SEC for a championship.
Well, no, because it could be. I mean, you may end up with the.
Okay, it's a moot point. So if neither one wins, it's a moot point. But if the Big Ten wins or the SEC, I will put a bottle that the Big Ten will win.
You know, you're real loosey goosey with these bottles, and then you forget about it, and then.
Whoa! Speaking about bottles, you still owe me a Takara Black.
Who? Oh shit! That's right. That is right.
I do.
Yeah.
Remember the box?
I thought I had you a box. I thought I just screwed you over in a box.
With the bottle.
No, I think I keep on
Would
giving
be
him
the
a
first time he
bottle,
screwed in his box. Man.
Oh, this is bad friendship right here, though.
Yeah. I mean, you like to come off.
So what about the NFL? You two are talking about. I don't follow the NFL a lot, though.
We change that subject?
Because he wants to go to good friendship.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows Deshaun Watson.
Well, I don't follow.
He's going to make sure
I don't
you
follow the
leave
NFL all
happy.
the time.
Hey, how happy was Deshaun Watson when the P Diddy thing went down? They're like, he's like, got him. Like, nobody cares about massage parlors anymore, right?
But I'm pretty sure he's happy there's more baby oil for him. I was just going to say.
But how garbage has he been? How garbage has Deshaun? I mean, he's been average, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, 100% average.
But you went out and you spent all that money on Deshaun Watson as Cleveland, and Baker Mayfield is much more talked about.
Yeah,
now.
well, he had a rough game this weekend.
Baker did.
Yeah, Baker had a rough game. But yeah, that was just that was shitty on Cleveland all the way around.
Yeah, what's your thoughts about that? I mean, being an Ohio fan, that you take you take an NC college elite quarterback like that when he goes to teams like Cleveland now, and you take like your Barry Sanders who went to Detroit though. Is it on Baker? Is it on Cleveland? Both? What are your thoughts?
It's on the franchise. It's on the team. They need to surround those people with a supporting cast that's going to get them there.
Let them mature a little bit.
That's how I feel about being on this podcast. I don't feel like, I feel like I'm...
Listen, and we look at you like Caleb Williams. You're like that idiot rookie with his fingernails painted.
I feel like Diddy 1 and Diddy 2.
He has one good game.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's
if I throw up 100 passes and you catch 50 of them, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, so listen, if I'm a quarterback coming out of college and going to get drafted, there's 3 teams that I don't ever want to even remotely think about going to.
Detroit?
Cleveland,
Chicago, and who would be your third one? Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina right now.
I don't want to go anywhere near those 3 teams. Chicago, I love listening, like watching and reading the Chicago Bears forums. It's hysterical. They're like, oh man, Caleb Williams had a breakout game. You lost. You threw 5,000. You went 5,000. You threw 5,000 pass attempts. You connected on 3,200 of them for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And 2 interceptions.
You lost. And then the shittier thing with Caleb and his actions in that game is that when he connected on one of his touchdowns, his very first NFL touchdown was to a rookie receiver for his very first reception TD. And he went over and took the ball away from him. Like, bitch, you throwing the ball 350 times this game. Why do you get the ball?
Yeah.
Fuck, that many times I could have thrown a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
And my fingernails weren't painted.
Well, the thing is, too, when you're the quarterback and you got that C on your chest for captain, which I don't know how you give it as a rookie, you got to have some type of class. Be like, you know what? You take this ball. I know I'm going to throw a bunch more. Granted, may be my first, but, as a receiver, how many more you're going to get? Receiver lifelines are a lot shorter than quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
But then maybe he's looking at the writing on the wall. He's a shit quarterback, and he's not going to make it through the whole season.
Yeah. I mean, but leadership is part of that position, and so I'm wondering. Like, I know the Bears' offensive line is garbage. I get it. I mean, but I wonder if they're really garbage or if they're just like, man, we don't like this kid.
I mean, I don't know who I feel worse for, Chicago or Cleveland. I mean, because they got the White Sox where they were paying them. They were telling fans tickets were like $1 or $5 a ticket to try to fill the stands up at the end of the season.
I don't know. I don't know what it's like to be a Browns fan. I mean, that must be like, you go and you spend, I mean, how many quarterbacks did they run through? Brady Quinn.
It's like 40 quarterbacks in the last 30 years.
Yeah, but I mean, like the big name, Johnny Manziel, and then, Baker Mayfield, and, Johnny Manziel, well, he was crazy. When Brady Quinn was ruined, his career was ruined by Cleveland. Thankfully, Baker Mayfield escaped, and you can see his talent.
Well, no, I mean, even when he was up at Cleveland, taking them to the playoffs, you took Cleveland to the playoffs, and then the franchise is going to just disregard you.
Well, that's the same thing that Chicago did to Justin Fields, and now Justin Fields is in Pittsburgh, and if you watch that last game, he looked good. He was making reads.
And I gave him, I applaud him for his leadership with the interception that wasn't his fault.
Wasn't his fault.
That it bounced around, and it was just one of those freak ones that it's not like he threw directly to the defender. He took blame for that.
Where did he come? Where did Justin Fields come from?
Well, he came from Chicago. They dumped him for.
Where did he come from? College?
He was Ohio. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Where'd he come from?
You know, anytime you talk
I just couldn't remember.
You couldn't remember?
Want to remember?
Oh, you didn't remember? You didn't remember that?
No.
Where Tom Brady come
OH?
from? OH. Where did Tom Brady go to school?
Bitch again.
I'm sorry. What was it? How do you pronounce that?
So on to the next topic for the
Jesus
podcast right now.
Oh man, I tell you what, Ohio State Buckeyes are all alike, man. They're just y'all are just a bunch of nuts.
You know what I'd love to talk about?
Speaking of nuts,
I would like to talk about.
what about that video I sent last night?
Oh,
Tell them the video real quick though. Dan.
so
You
was this a real league?
Yeah, it's a real league, which blew my mind. So you got the slap league, where people, men and women, are slapping the shit out of each other, and it definitely looked like it was somewhere in Asia.
No, this was in America.
Okay, it was in America, but now there's a league where you got guys kicking each other in the junk.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't care how much you're paying me, I am not letting you kick me in the nuts.
Wrong. If you pay me enough, I will let you kick me in the nuts.
What's that price?
$1 million. $1 million bucks.
You know, for someone whose balls haven't dropped, that's not really fair though.
Listen, I guarantee you, if I offer you $1 million right now to kick you in your nuts,
No.
you're so fucking full of shit. Listen, if I give you $1 million right now to kick it,
Dude, the thought about your testicle exploding.
Yeah, but it's not a full on punter's kick. Remember, he was like, they cocked the leg 3 times, and you have to do it from a static pose. You can't. I mean, listen, for $1 million bucks,
but I could get some momentum. I'm just saying.
I don't listen. None of us are going to get a lot of momentum. We're all old, but for
I'm still not letting you kick me in the nuts for $1 million.
No, I'll slap you in your dick for free right now. And what are you going to do about it?
That's different. The nuts and the dick's different. 100%.
For $1 million, Jay would have hit you with his mouth to your crotch.
So. I thought we were going to stop with the dick jokes.
It's a league. This is I want to know the name of the league. It was like the crotch kicking league or something.
Well, it's still on the text message.
Was it a text or did you send it over message?
No, it was on a text.
Oh God. No, it wasn't on the text.
Yes, it was on the text. It was a link in the text.
Because I couldn't download the video last night, though.
Okay,
there it is.
The UDKC, the Ultimate Dick Kicking Championship League.
Dude, it's just crazy the shit that come up. Have you seen the medieval UFC fighting?
That is gangster.
They're wearing medieval.
Did you see when they pulled them out of the metal?
So you guys will get amped up about that, but bust my balls on dragons.
Well, yes, because
that was real.
Because it was real.
It was. We could see it. We could.
When they pulled the armor off, and the dude like puts up his little face mask, his eyes all bloody, and he's bleeding out of his ears. Like that was gangster.
Yeah.
I did not see him fighting Merlin in a flying dragon, though. I'm just pointing that out. But
it's just. What about the other video I sent you guys with the? I think it was over in Russia, the phone booth boxing or MMA.
That was intriguing. Yeah. Yeah, there's no running.
It was basically an MMA fight, though, within the phone booth. So a phone booth is probably, to say 3x3. Basically, the UFC ref goes, go. And they just fight it out within a 3x3 phone booth.
Yeah, and they beat the hell out of each
until
other.
One falls to the floor, taps, or... Yeah.
Runs out of the phone booth. Yes, I mean...
who are you going to call? Not calling Diddy anytime soon.
Man, I tell you what. So, real quick, speaking of Diddy, we'll do the Diddy. We're going to call it the Diddy update. You took a long sip when I said Diddy, too. You're like, how bad is it going to get now? How bad is it going to get for Diddy?
I think he's going to be Epstein.
What do you think? You're just happy you can get baby oil.
He's getting off.
No. Man, Diddy looks like he'll talk and snitch.
I'm going to go, he's getting off still. I'm just going to go and stand
I'm sure he's getting off. He's going to go to gym pop real soon.
He's going to be all up in there dropping soap.
Yeah. I bet Johnson & Johnson is real upset, though. Their stock must have dropped.
Oh, yeah.
Big time, right?
Because he didn't buy the Costco or the Sam's Club
He wasn't
brand.
buying by bulk.
He was buying Johnson's, and he was buying the good shit.
He got the good stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, I got coupons. Justin, go get me a case.
Well, the thing that kills me now, anybody that's ever taken a picture, been in any type of event with P. Diddy, they're like, oh, that's a diddler. That's a diddler. And I'm like, just because you know somebody doesn't mean you're in the same.
You're right, but how many people do you think block that phone call when they see it, don't answer it right now, though, or are distancing themselves?
100%. There's a lot of celebrities that removed and stopped following Diddy on social media when this all broke a couple months ago.
Oh, you distance yourself to the moon.
Well, what about, so I still don't understand how LeBron has managed to dodge this criticism, because it was LeBron himself that was ain't no party like a Diddy party. Right. So when you say something like that, what you are saying is, you know, that there's some interesting
things going on.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing too, because they're going back to like the '90s, pulling out pictures of all these celebrities that were at these Diddy parties. And, you know, in college and high school, well, probably not the two of you, but, you know, you had parties, and then when all the lames left, you know, the real party favorites came out.
Why did he say two of us?
Yeah, why?
Because we've had these conversations before. You guys are clean, good guys. You know, you guys didn't partake in the party favors. So after you guys would leave the party, that's when a lot of the times the other stuff would come out.
Makes it sound like we're
we know. We don't even want to say.
Say what? A bunch of narcs?
I just didn't partake in the party favors. They were there.
Yeah, but they're like...
You make it sound like they were like, oh, wait, don't do drugs unless this guy's gone.
What the? I feel like Smokey Bear. Don't light a...
Yeah, no fires until this asshole leaves the party.
I'm just saying, there's, you know... There's been times, there's certain people around, you're not going to do certain things because those people are around, and you don't know how you feel about them or what they're going to say or who they're going to say what to. So I think it's the same thing when you look at Diddy, what he was doing afterwards, you know, they're waiting till certain people are leaving.
Like everybody leaves, and he's like, all right, break out the baby oil and bring out all the big boys. It's time to get my...
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows what LeBron's comment was? He said, no, ain't no party like a Diddy party, though. For all I know... People could have been topless. It could have been some just great party. Who knows what he made a comment about?
Or he might have been dunking on Diddy.
But no, I'm just saying, because they're trying to tie it now. You see all the pictures of Diddy and Trump, and people are like, oh, you know, Trump knew what Diddy was doing. And then now you have also people posting pictures of Diddy and Obama. Oh, so you know what?
Well, Diddy and Camille Harris, where she was dressed all scantily because she was Montel's hype chick back in the day.
It's the thing is they're politicizing and weaponizing pictures of celebrities, politicians, saying, you know, they were involved. I think you can't go around saying that until everything drops.
No, I don't disagree though. You can sell a narrative very easily though.
Yeah,
no,
that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, just because somebody knew or associated with Diddy doesn't necessarily mean they were involved in the same thing.
I agree. That's fair. So real quick before I close it out, while we're on LeBron, it was announced today that his son
will play in the first game.
Yep, I know you got a parlay on him, don't you?
Well, I got multiple prop bets.
Stupid, man.
A+ assists, the double, 20+ points, triple-double, anytime in the 24-25 season, pays that big.
So anytime?
Anytime. Doesn't
okay. So because the first game, I can't believe you're going to start a kid that can't hit a backboard.
Here's my thing. As long as he gets in, he feeds his dad 8 assists, you guys are going to be happy with the bottles I'm going to be able to buy.
Word. I guess I'll root for that. As soon as he hits 8 assists, I want him to get dominated like Diddy dominates.
No, because I need him to hit the double-double, a triple-double, 20+ points, 25+ points, and 30+ points.
All in one game?
No, anytime in the season.
So we can get this over a period of time.
Yeah.
Oh,
during the season.
Yeah.
He said it.
So first game when he gets 8 assists, and right after that, I hope he gets his ass knocked out.
That's one check of the block.
Yeah.
How much you get paid for the 8 assists?
No, I
got multiple bets out there. So I think 8 assists at $100 pays like $1,200.
That's a couple bottles.
Yeah, I know the triple double at $100 pays $15,000.
Okay, well I'll root for.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and Venmo you Dan tonight. I'm gonna get in on this.
Anyway, thanks guys for tuning in. Real quick before we go, we do want to remind you that you have about what's today? Got about 5 days. You got 6 days left to get into the drawing for the bottle of Blanton's. Real simple. Go to Facebook and follow us on Bullits and Bourbon, and tag 2 of your friends. All right,
in the comment section
of that post. Instagram. Go to Bullits and Bourbon. Follow and tag at least 2 people, and then you're in. You're in for 2 entries. That's 2 entries. 1 for Instagram, 1 for Facebook. If you want another 6 entries, go over to Patreon and pay for the subscription to our Patreon channel. That'll get you 6 additional entries. Listen, you don't want to mess around, because next month we are giving away a very, very, very premium bottle of bourbon, and it's going to be a Patreon only giveaway. We will also have another giveaway, but it's not nearly as good as one we're going to give away on Patreon. So sign up now. Get yourself a chance to score this bottle. $4 a month. We spend that on what? I mean, you spend it on a burrito. $4 a month.
Spend more than coffee. Yeah, spend like $5-6 on coffee.
When you're doing the Patreon, it's basically $4 a month. You're buying a raffle ticket every month for a
extra content, extra prizes, merchandise,
an allocated bottle is what you're going in for.
So we want to see you get registered for this, and good luck to you, and hope that you move on over to Patreon and check us out. We will be dropping some exclusive content, some we call back porch sessions.
I think we're going to do that this Friday. I think we're going to test that out Friday.
Back porch sessions where we get really stupid.
Pre-podcast back porch episode.
I feel like we're talking about back couch casting now.
No, that's what you're
Brokeback Mountain. That's what you're thinking.
But thank you guys again for joining. And as we always say, until next time, stay thirsty, my friends. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast of Bullits and Bourbon. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.